Word up. I guess we could just kick it and see what's going on with y'all niggas, man. What's been happening in your studies?
Ooh. Let's go. I know I got my paper. My paper is written.
Oh, word.
Yeah, definitely.
You could take a snapshot of it and text it to me.
Most definitely.
And actually, it'd be it's better if you type it up after you send the picture. I mean, send it, type it up, and then load it because it's gonna be you're gonna need it later.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? I can do that.
You know what I mean? There's a method to all of this. You know what I mean? So, you get a chance to look back at where you began. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Check your progress and all of that. Because where else in the world are we gonna find, you know what I mean, groups? I mean, I'm sure they're out there, but at least we're, in our intentions are being forthright about learning how to master the self. You know what I'm saying? Master the mind. You know what I'm saying? So like you could go to the barbershop, you can go to, just an office and a grocery line and people's conversation ain't based on that. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere you go, people confirm the ignorance of the world. You know what I'm saying? Like their conversation is attuned with each other, and they do this deliberately, from the movies in the laboratories called theaters. You know what I'm saying? So to the newspaper, your daily dosage. To the news, your daily dosage. You don't want anybody to step outside of the frequency. You know what I'm saying? Of the distraction. Right. And when we take time out to be on the phone with each other, we're all busy people. You know what I'm saying? And I was telling John the other day, who sits on the phone and speak to, a bunch of dudes all night?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody does that. Right. Obviously, you know what I'm saying, we're finding some type of resolve. And so the more we treat this as sacred, the more we get sacred results. You know what I'm saying? In essence, everything is mind. So when you peel back the world just by being still, as they say in scriptures, be still and know that I'm God. You know what I'm saying? It's basically the I am. You know what I'm saying? The I am-ness, or the conscious awareness that you're supposed to carry throughout your day. Whatever is in your I am-ness, I am is an identity. I am is an identity.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I am a yada yada. I am a doctor. I am a taxi cab driver. You know what I'm saying? I am a basketball player.
Right.
So all of those are titles in the world. But what do they have to do with your moral aptitude, your ethics, your virtues, your values? That's the more core aspect of the I am.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we meditate and we get into that quiet place or the dark place, you know what I'm saying? Star Wars and Darth Vader is actually the epitome of meditation. Because all you hear is his breathing. You know what I'm saying? So they're showing you that Darth Vader is the darkness that God existed in before the light. And in the beginning, God said, "Let there be light." So Luke Skywalker is representation of Luke. He always wore white. You know what I'm saying? He was wearing white, at least in that scene. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's the Skywalker or the sun. He was birthed out of darkness. And we've touched bases on this before. But Darth Vader's helmet is actually the head of a penis. It's the head of a phallus. So they're telling you that life began from the black seed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And when you meditate, you're actually cultivating your chakra system from the base of your spine to the crown of your head. So you're dealing with the sacral chakra, and the sacral chakra is where the phallus.
Huh.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So when you really look at creating as a god, you have to realize what is in your I amness, as above, so below, on earth as it is in heaven. And the word earth rhymes with birth, so you're dealing with the phallus. So whatever you got cooking in your mind is also cooking in your spine, is cooking in your root chakra. You know what I'm saying? And when the phallus is erect, your kundalini energy also rises. And the kundalini energy is actually dealing with your etheric or your electric body, activated by your emotions, your desires, the sexual desire. And so when you say sex, you're actually saying six. So counting from the top chakra down, the phallus or the vagina would be at the sixth chakra. So six and sex is correlation with that. So what are they saying? They're actually saying, Luke, I am your father, meaning that everything that's birthed into the world, you fathered that. You created that, because things that are created are things manifested in the material world.
Right.
And in the material world, you're dealing with volume and mass. EMC squared. Energy times mass times light. So energy, vibration, and molecular vibration, you're dealing with subtle vibration, and you're dealing with dense vibration. So they showed us, Jonathan, when we got our blood tested, that an alkaline body has your cells separate. So therefore your white blood cells can get through all of the traffic and clean out the mess. But what causes your blood cells to congeal is imbalancement. You're being very physical. You're not getting enough sleep. You're not eating properly because you're eating to taste. And when you eat to taste, you're not eating to health. So a lot of those things that taste good, they're not good for you, especially when you're dealing with sugars, because it brings the cells together. And when it brings the cells together, then you're dealing with density, low vibration, but vibration nonetheless. So even when you got a cold, you're off balance. You have to check your diet. You got to check your sleeping habits. You know what I'm saying? You got to know that you can heal yourself with your mind. Placebo, which is nothing but a scientific name for healing, laying on of hands, and you know what I'm saying? So like when we really get down to it, everything begins in the mind. You know what I'm saying? Luke, I am your father. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be careful what you expose yourself to when you're on this journey and you're on this pathway. Because whatever you expose yourself to lives inside your memory bank.
Right.
And so since it lives inside your memory bank, it has to manifest outward because remember, you're a projector. You beam things into existence like Cyclops on X-Men. Each one of those characters are representation of abilities, and you can, I'm sure, line them up with chakras, states of chakra.
Right.
States of, you know what I'm saying? States of your chakra existence. They even show you that in the Green Lantern, because Green Lantern, as it moved on, it morphed, it spun into, the indigo lanterns, the white lanterns, the black lanterns. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So if you want to know anything about chakras, study the Green Lantern Corps.
Right. Gotcha.
I've gotten actually guided to go pick those graphic novels up. Brightest Day, Blackest Night.
Those are joints that you showed me like a while ago, right?
Yeah. Those joints read like a Bible on steroids. Because Stan Lee, your boy Stan Lee is a Jewish occultist. So he know a lot about all of this. Your boy George Lucas, Star Wars, occultist. That's why they're fascinating. You know what I'm saying? Fascinating, captivating movies because they're coming from a place that speaks to your core existence.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So they give you the homework, they give you the stuff right in front of you. You know what I'm saying? We just look at it as entertainment. So the core of the conversation tonight is that darkness. You know what I'm saying? And the identity of the I amness. You know what I mean? What's in your wallet? You know what I mean? What do you hold in your mind space? What's floating around in your mind space? What's in your cerebro? If you look at X-Men, Charles Xavier is always saying cerebro knows. Cerebro is dealing with your subconscious.
Mm-hmm.
So your own guilt is your own inner me. Your own guilt will project into your experience so that you could deal with your own fears, your own insecurities, your own doubts, your perversions or your personal versions of how you see life. This is where your personality lives or your personal reality is. This is why it's cool to study, deep thought by a lot of scholars that came before us, or gods and goddesses, or priestess. Study this information as long as it's on a universal level that is helping and assisting you. But when you get into their personality or their personal reality or their perversions or their personal versions, realize that all of us have the opportunity to create from the core aspect of animating into existence what it is that moves you. So just because a person can kick knowledge doesn't mean that they don't hold inside their subconscious or their cerebro some chamber in their mind that they may have inherited or developed themselves that's perverted. You understand what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
There's a movie that break that shit down called The Cell with Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah, I've seen that. That was a crazy movie.
Yeah.
Everything was in the mind with that one.
Everything. What's in the mind?
Yeah.
Another good movie to go watch is a movie called What Dreams May Come with Robin Williams and Cuba Gooding.
That's what sparked my interest in everything.
What's that?
What Dreams May Come.
Oh, you seen it?
Yeah, I seen that a long time ago. That's what sparked everything when I was younger. I mean, as far as, you know, the way that I think now, you know, trying to figure things out. What is heaven, or, you know what I'm saying, what's going on?
That movie is actually Dante's Inferno.
Oh, wow. Wow. Wow.
So a lot of these movies are out there to catch your attention so that you'll get caught in that reality. These are like fishnets movies. Some of these movies and some of these, this literature out here, they're no different than fishnets in the sea. They'll catch you, and if it moves you, then you'll end up in that realm.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why they so over sensationalized. They get your whole experience into it. You're invested in the movie.
Okay.
And give me 1 second, because I'm gonna go into that real quick, but chop it up on that level one. So I just gotta check on something.
Word.
You know what I mean?
Definitely. Hype. You've never seen What Dreams May Come, yo? You have got to see that movie.
Nah.
Cuba
I haven't seen
Gooding Jr.
it.
Cuba Gooding Jr. and Robin Williams, yo. That movie came out, I want to say maybe the late 90s, if I'm not mistaken.
I've never even heard of it.
Yeah, dude, you got to see it, man. For real. Robin Williams is on a search, man. Yo, he's on a search, and he's going through it, man. He's going through it. Cuba Gooding Jr. is there.
I've never heard of that joint.
Dude, yeah, you gotta peep that movie, man. Deep. It's very deep. Like, stuff that's happening in the movie, yo, there was like, I'm gonna tell you, man, like this one part, man, they was like on like I think they was like in hell or something, or limbo, but they was like supposed to be like the river, but the river was nothing but like people, souls, you know what I'm saying, was the whole river, dog. And I'm saying, like, yo, they're like on a boat over nothing but people. And like the people were just reaching up, and like some of them are screaming, and I'm like, yo, what the hell is this? Like, man, dude, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Oh shit, this came out in '98.
Yeah, dude, you gotta peep it, man. You know, Cuba Gooding is like, Robin Williams pretty much his guide, everything that Robin Williams needed to know. Cuba was there, but he wasn't trying to give him all the information. It was like, dude, you need to get some of this yourself, you know.
Now notice that he was a guide.
Yeah.
Notice that he was a guide. What's that? Why? Because he's the melanin.
Right. He was. He sure was.
He's the melanin.
He had all the knowledge.
The creative aspect. Exactly. Mm-hmm. So what's consistent here?
Ooh.
If you do the consistency or the correspondence or the contrast, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Which is how we evaluate. You'll see that Cuba Gooding is playing the same role or similar role that Darth Vader is playing to Luke Skywalker.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, he is.
You see what I'm saying? It's nothing but the same story told a different way.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that mean? Now you can stand on, I did not come to change the law, but to fulfill the law, which Christ said. So that means that old law of mastering your mind and disciplining your actions will carry you through time and states of existence. So earth is nothing. You know what I'm saying? These battles that we deal with the government, bills and worries and doubts, all can be cured by mastering the yin and yang, the mind over matter, the etheric and the material, your thoughts and your deeds. That's really what this, everything that we talk about, no matter what subject it is and how deep it may be, still boils down to those aspects of mastering your thoughts and your deeds.
Mm.
So realities are dreamed up, no different than these religions.
Right.
Religions are dreamed up to get you to invest your whole self in it, and your psyche involved in it. So therefore, you animate the reality of that particular realm, be it material or otherwise, be it material or afterlife. Where do you go when you die? Depends on what the fuck you've been exposed to and who scared you enough to invest yourself in it, or who motivated you enough to invest yourself in it.
Mm-hmm.
This whole existence is about momentum. It's about intention. And as we spoke before, and we'll touch bases on it again, the word momentum, you have MOM, mom, feminine energy, and men,
Mm-hmm.
masculine energy in the word itself. But let's take it further. You have the feminine, masculine, and you have momentum.
Ha ha. Okay. Okay.
So what is momentum? Momentum is EMC square. Energy times mass times light. We're scientists. We're eternal mind travelers. We travel in the oversoul, in the overworld, as well as the underworld. In the overworld, because what I put in my mind is over any matter. And matter decays, but my mind doesn't. I live in the underworld because I travel on semen or ovum. For the Spirit of God hovered above the surface of the waters. Let me say that again. In scriptures, the Spirit of God hovered above the surface of the waters. So my mind is on the head, it's connected to, or is the conductor for my thoughts. And that apparatus called the brain transmits those thoughts into the vocal cords so that you can express yourself. So that head that's on my shoulders is above the head that's on my phallus. This is why they say think with the greater head versus the lesser head. So since that's on a polarity scale, my head is above, my phallus is below, right? You're dealing with the God on my shoulders and the DOG in my trousers.
Right.
It's the reverse. It's the reverse opposite. Or it can be reversed so that your God over your shoulders and your God in your pants or your sack.
Right.
Which is a pun on your sacral chakra, which is also a spin-off for sacrifice.
Right.
Ball sack, sacral chakra, sacrifice. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. So Jesus is Gyst.
Come on, Chuck. I got you. Play on words.
It's what it is.
Metaphor.
All of it. Everything. Everything, huh?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like this, the shit is like, why is it there? Why can we play on words?
Pretty much it's put in front of us, but some of us are naive and blinded that we don't realize that everything is put in front of us for a reason, but we just don't know.
Shit, the majority.
Well, yeah,
I ain't
mass
know that
majority.
shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's right, right.
And you just said naive, right? We broke that down.
Mm-hmm.
What is
Yeah,
naive?
yeah. You said naive was Adam and Eve.
Because she was naive.
Right, right.
And then her deeds turned into evil, which is
Mm-hmm.
the opposite of living. Evil spelled backwards is live.
Right.
Why? Why can we do this?
Mm-hmm.
See, but the average person is caught up on the Super Bowl, the playoffs, the holidays. They're not gonna catch this. If they do catch it, it's a faint thought, and then they go right back to the programming.
Mm-hmm.
See, on us on the phone right now, our forerunning thoughts is about this. So, you know what I mean? You a rebel. You know what I mean?
Certainly.
With the with the cause though. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't like we out here just fucking rebelling. You know what I'm saying? You know, haphazardly. You know what I'm saying? Like where there's smoke, there's fire. So we activating our God mind and doing the research, and we're finding consistency there. You know what I'm saying? Enough consistency to prove that we are created in the image and after the likeness of God. What God? You know, and how does that statement benefit anything?
Right. Very true.
So again, these calls ain't about sermons. These calls about that truth, but that truth being manifested in your life. As we can sit here and talk deep for deep's sake, you know what I'm saying? But if it ain't moving in your world, then you're not engaging this as a scientist,
Right.
as an alchemist, to prove that the thoughts that you cultivate or the thoughts that you draw to you in your meditation, in your dark space, contribute to your light world. You have to know that the dark space of your mind is energy, potential energy, which is also omnipotent when activated. When you activate it, the omnipotence of that dark space becomes your potentiality. It's what are you going to do with it? So some people use the dark space of their mind to contact, you know, God and say, please, God, you know, get me out of this situation. I won't do it again. And you activate that law of attraction and get out of it and then go right back and do it again. So you're confusing your own God or your own empty space.
And you put yourself right back in the loop.
Put yourself back in the loop because you never realize you're doing it anyway because you keep going to some exterior God asking to get saved. So you don't even feel any level of accountability. See, when you get rid of all of that idol worship and you realize that the helping hand you're looking for is at the end of your own arm and that you are Christ too.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? Then you approach your deeds more responsibly. There's nobody to blame but you when you know this science.
Mm-hmm.
So we ain't on the phone right now to waste each other's time. Yo, I've engaged in this alchemy and getting results out of this shit and have activated it and experienced how to effectively get results by engaging in different cultural renditions of how they use this science.
Mm-hmm.
Which goes to show you that these religions are more linked to each other than they want to give themselves credit for. But there's ignorance in there's bliss in ignorance, in separatism. No accountability, and misery loves each other's company.
Right. Oh,
So being visitors in this realm, in this time zone, in this era, you have to tap back into the old law, which is I amness, or I am God, created in the image and after the likeness of that dark energy manifested into the material world. And as the alchemist, thinking yourself into existence, traveling on electricity or the electrical impulse of a climax, the electrical energy is the lightning that strikes the earth. And remember, the first two letters of electricity is EL,
ha, God.
God. So we here to play around, or we here to engage in this?
We are here.
Just like Cuba Gooding was guiding him through the underworld.
Mm-hmm.
I've been guided through the underworld, and I'm passing it on. Treat it as novelty, and you'll get novel results. Treat it as your sacred birthright, and you'll survive this shit.
Most definitely.
So the core of it, again, is dealing with how they show you a lot of this stuff in occult sciences, in the Kabbalah and the Kabbalion, and you know what I mean, Christianity, Catholicism. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're hoarding the science so that they can create and animate a bubble in space time. So therefore, you get caught up on how they do it. Oh, look at how they do it. Then you're sucked into that reality. Now you got to reap the results and the penalties that come associating yourself with these particular religions. You're supposed to study these religions no different than you listen to different CDs or watch different movies. Get overly invested in it, and you find yourself at motherfucking Comic-Con. You know what I'm saying? What's the difference in a dude in an Iron Man suit at Comic-Con than a devout Christian?
On a Sunday morning, yeah, you're right.
On a Sunday morning.
You're right.
The common attribute is dedication.
Right. Very true.
So out of everything that we talked about right now in the precursor, what are we going back to at its core? Mind over matter. EMC square. Be still. Know that I'm God. Momentum.
Mm-hmm.
Greater head, lesser head. Luke, I am your father. And what were they fighting against? What were they fighting with? What tools were they using?
Penises. Lightsabers, man.
Niggas fighting with lifesavers, huh?
Yeah.
Or swords. And spell the word sword. Spell it.
SWORD.
Take the S off. What do you have?
WOR. Oh shit. WORD. Word.
So what is the word? The word is the concept. What is the concept? Depending on who's conceiving it. What is conceived? To give birth. What is concept? Conception. Why are the two different acts associated or linked together?
Mm-hmm.
Why is birth associated to thought or
right.
thought? It's telling you mind over matter. On earth as it is in heaven. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. So when you bear forth a son that comes from God consciousness, you birth a king with the wisdom in the head, and the head is the shape of a sphere. Half of a sphere is a what?
You got a rod, and then you got an arrow.
No, half of a sphere. What's half of a sphere?
Oh, a half of a sphere. Oh, why am I thinking a spear?
It's all good. It's all good. But what is it? What is the half of a sphere? Half of a circle. In geometry, what is it called? It's a dome.
Ooh, okay.
It's a dome.
Okay. Got you.
So the king dome means that you have kingly thoughts in your head, because half of your head at the top is your brain. And your brain being spherical, the half or the upper portion would be the dome.
Right.
And they also play on the word that if you ain't got nothing in your head, you're just a fucking dummy. Or domey. It's the same shit. Let's clean this shit up for y'all. Let's clean this shit up so niggas can see.
Right.
It's like the movie They Live, nigga. You're gonna see how many people walking around here in this motherfucking ignorance, and what deems you into a god or a goddess. So thy kingdom come, that will be done on earth as it is in heaven, means is as I think. My immaculate conceptions live in my children.
Mm-hmm.
Because the electrical energy travels up the spinal column to collect the data, that which I am. It not only collects my physical features and my makeup, it collects what I'm interested in, my deepest thoughts, my system, my science, my morals, my ethics, virtues and values, my borders and boundaries, my I amness, my world. Spell the word world.
WORLD.
Take the L out.
WORD.
Word.
So what world do you live in? What's your truth? What's your truth, huh?
Right.
And where do you dwell? Do you dwell in the reactionary stage, or do you project out there, whether it be in the ether state, through prayer, through mantras, through chants? All of it's there. Even when you say the word prayer, there's no accountability, there's no association with it. But remember, wherever you see ER, it brings it to a personal relationship. So instead of saying prayer, you have a intimate relationship with it in a title, because you are the prayer.
Mm-hmm.
The one who prays, the prayer, like a basketball player. I am a prayer, one who prays and is in a frequency and relationship with it, so much so that my prayers move. And what are these prayers? What are these prayers? Words. What's associated with these words? Energy. Where there's energy, there's life. Where there's energy, there's light. Spell light.
LIGHT.
Spell laugh.
LAUGH.
Where's the F in laugh?
Nowhere.
Where's the F? Where's the F? Why are they fucking with your mind like that?
Right.
So spell light again.
LIGHT.
Take the T off.
LIGH.
So say it again. life.
Trippy.
You gotta decode this shit. You gotta decode this shit.
Like,
That's the only way you're gonna travel as the spaceship. Nigga, you are the spaceship. Ship is denoting a correlation with it, a way to travel, a union. So when they talk about a spaceship, that means that you move through space because you have a relationship with it. And what you know in this space will help you travel through time. So again, this ain't about being on the fucking phone. You know what I mean? To just be like, nigga, yo, look what I could do. Look what I could break down. You know what I'm saying? Nah, nigga, that shit is fucking corny. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit is deep, and I'm explaining it from a place of confidence because, you know, and to reach these epiphanies, to reach these, you know, resolutions and calculations, I studied this stuff. You know, I'm wholeheartedly invested in digging in the crates. You know what I'm saying? I told Jonathan, we ain't no different than DJs. We rehashing old doctrine and making that shit applicable in this day and time, which is what they told you to do. I did not come to change the law, but to fulfill the law, nigga. This old school shit. Old dirty bastard told you, nigga. This ain't nothing new. It's gonna come from out of nowhere. No. This is something old and dirty.
Mm-hmm.
Know what I mean? We just the ones that's keeping that shit, you know what I'm saying, as the flagship that runs your life.
Right. Whew. Oh, we getting there.
So look at what's happened with us all already as, you know what I'm saying, get your shit together, greater non-denominational research and development, psychological on the couch. Come on, Jonathan, give me some more, man.
Fellowship.
Fellowship Depot. Nigga, what have we done? What have we accomplished already? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, we now on Zoom. We're increasing our shit.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight is one of the more, you know what I'm saying, like organized nights because we started out, you know what I mean, without having to organize yourself and, you know what I mean, like, you know, work through your physical role and get into this shit. Because a lot of us, as soon as we get off the phone, we gotta wear a new hat or same old hat. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be a mother, father, you gotta be, you know what I'm saying, whatever it is you're doing. This is what's happening with people that's not on the call right now. They're in the other hat. You got to take that hat off for a moment. For a moment. And there it is again, moment.
Yeah.
Without the without the energy, without the the engine ain't start. It's just potential. You're in a moment.
Right.
Why are they fucking with your head like that? It's not necessarily that they're fucking with your head. It's also that we're in a duality.
Far Side says life is just a moment in time.
Exactly. You're at the crossroads between two realities, the past and the future, which is should be a reflection so that you can get a consistency of travel out of it. So remember, what I am will reflect into tomorrow, and tomorrow is to mirror. So since tomorrow is a mirror and I'm walking into it, then that light is the reflection of my life.
Right.
And in that life, a man who finds a virtuous woman finds a good thing, which is called a wife. Again, a play on words. Because she's the one that gives life. She's the gateway. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
She's the Princess Leia.
Huh. Yes. Most definitely.
So, yeah, we breaking some shit down in our fellowship, but it ain't shit if it don't become a part of your life and you ain't getting miraculous results. Remember, you got to take this information off of this phone, off of this conference, and you got to pull it out of the spirit world and make it manifest into your physical existence so that you can sit back and look at your masterpiece creation and say, well done, thy good and faithful servant. What is the servant? Your physical body that has to follow the mind. You are the remote control and the remote controlled. You are the puppet and the puppeteer. What's in your wallet? What's in your space? If you have a limited religion that doesn't explain the parables accurately, then this will show the limitations on your life. We break these religions down and bust them down. I'm an alchemist. You understand what I'm saying? That's what you gotta be. You gotta be a fucking alchemist, nigga. You gotta suplex this shit out of your mind and then make it materialize itself. You gotta transform yourself out of the job that you don't like and create the life that you want. Because they told you in scriptures, Job is Job and Job is suffering. Wake up out of the spell.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. That was good.
Yeah.
That was good.
I mean, what's good about it though? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, why is it good? Why is
It's good to hear that. It's good to hear that correlation, because you know, like a lot of people say, Job is just over broke, and Job means suffering. You're just barely making it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So even with that said, what's good about that? How is it helping you? How does it serve you?
It's enlightenment, because at the end of the day, I mean, shoot, you might need to hear it, man. We know what the situation is. It's good that it's being broken down into layman's terms, you know, so that way we can get a better visual. That's how I look at it.
The two words you just used is enlightenment and better visual. So enlightenment is inner light, your inner light. How do you see yourself? Enlightenment. Right? And here we are with the LIGH. So inner life. What is your inner life? How do you live in your dreams?
Right.
Watch the movie Walter Mitty, and you'll see that he never had a chance to tap into his adventurous self or his God self as long as he was shutting down his first impulse.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he wanted to do certain things, but he didn't have the courage to do it. And in that movie, they're gonna show you different. They show you, Jonathan, and if you haven't seen it, Tremaine, I highly advise you to watch the Life of Walter Mitty, right?
I'm about to write it down.
I forgot what's the precursor. I don't know if it's the Wonderful Life of Walter Mitty, or you know what I'm saying, but it's Walter Mitty. And through that movie, different scenes they're gonna show you, and they're gonna focus on different colors. Either he's wearing or he's playing with in the background. Whatever it is, they're gonna show you how he traveled through the chakras.
It's The Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
There it is.
The Secret Life.
That's what it is. The Secret Life. Hey, what's up, baby? How you doing? Love you. I'm gonna see you in a minute, okay?
That's one of Ben Stiller's under the radar joints.
Yeah, but who is Ben Stiller? Jewish.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, I ain't taking nothing away from him.
No,
you know what
of
I mean?
course.
Because that's the way they do what they do. He actually a funny motherfucker. I hang out with that nigga. Right. You know what I'm saying? I hang out with that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But he's one of those ones that's in a particular lifestyle that they show up on the planet and they got shit on lockdown because their doctrine actually turns into law. And when you're outside of their doctrine, right, then you reap the penalties from being locked out of it. See, you got to realize that the government system and the judicial system, you know what I'm saying, like all of this is doctrine. This is spirituality. This is religion. So if you ain't with them, you outside of the law of how that particular spiritual system works. This is war, yo. Spiritual warfare. Spiritual warfare. What's in your fucking wallet? What do you have on your fucking tool belt? You know what I'm saying? When you go into war. You know what I'm saying? Have you activated the chakras in your spinal column? Have you opened or bust the 7 seals that they talk about in Revelation? Opening the 7 seals is overstanding and mastering each of the realms and dimensions that exist inside of the certain layers of responsibility that you got to engage daily to manifest yourself through the cultivation and the exchange of energy and the diversity of how you mix certain actions and deeds when you're interacting with people. You're no different than a cook in a kitchen mixing different spices. Some shit don't go together.
This money, I need to go out next.
So how do you realize what don't go together? Hey, mute your phone now.
I got him.
Word up. See, that's that shit. We gotta get on that. I need a class on that. you gotta show me that shit. You know what I'm saying? Now that we up and running we went from a hoop to a Cadillac right now. We had a Cadillac.
Yeah.
We got some bells and whistles rolling with us right now.
Little bit.
Yeah.
And I apologize.
Nah, it's all good. I thought he was muted.
Oh no, I had just unmuted him to check see where he was at.
Word up. So how do we realize that he wants to be unmuted? Like if he got a question or something.
Oh, I just guessed. but there is a joint that said that allows them to unmute themselves. I don't know that exact joint for the phone, but
yeah,
that option is up.
So Tremaine, you see, you know what I'm saying? Jonathan went out and bought a Cadillac. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? We traveling in a little style right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we went to the new platform called Zoom.
Yeah, definitely.
So the spiritual aspect about this, remember, as above, so below, in all aspects, as within, so without. You know, Jonathan and I are also a part of a company called Zuma.
Okay.
If he hasn't divulged that information, and you know, I'm sure it's maybe just nothing that I don't know, felt nothing withheld. It was just, you know what I'm saying, something that we got involved with. Jonathan, you broke down to him about the alkaline water or anything like that? You have just explained?
Nah, I haven't because I thought we was gonna do it at the live show, and then this happened.
Oh,
At the live show. That was the original joint, and then this happened. So.
Okay. So yeah, man. Tremaine, there's a company called Zuma, and they deal in mastering the science of alkalinity, as well as different aspects within inside your biology, so that you can reach homeostasis, so that you can reach harmony within your body. State of the art joint. You know what I'm saying? Breaking down basic science that we should know, basic remedies that you should have in your garden, basic remedies that you should have in your fucking spice cabinet, basic minerals that replace the medicine cabinet. Shouldn't even need a medicine cabinet because all the remedies should be on your fucking spice rack.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So here we go right now of who we really the fuck are. You know what I'm saying? Instead of using this energy, you know what I'm saying, to be militant, luckily for you mere mortals, we use our powers for good. And what does that mean when you say shit like that? That means that when we say you shouldn't have a medicine cabinet, your medicine should be on your spice rack, you're being proactive rather than reactive. Mm-hmm. These are one of the basic laws in transforming your life to get the results out of this that are miraculous. You know what I mean? These small adjustments in your life turn into huge benefits because you become proactive, mind over matter, instead of the matter leading the mind, and matter decays. So when you die with the body, you go insane. You go insane because you're dematerializing and you never detached yourself from the fucking incarnation. And the word incarnation is dealing with the word car. You're in a car, nigga. You're in a vessel. You're in a vehicle traveling the terrain or terra. And since you're on the rock called terra, and your deeds are led by the insanity of the world, you experience that terror of this planet because you're connected to the collective consciousness of those who are led by the flesh. Mm-hmm. So when you're on terror and you have activated your God consciousness, it means that you're a visitor or you're in the vehicle. And so since you're in the vehicle, that means that you're being contained. What's being contained? What's being contained when I say incarnation? What's being contained when I say incarnation is your astral body.
Very true.
The ether body. So since you're visiting here on the planet, that means that you're extra because you weren't here before. So now you can decode the word extraterrestrial and correspond it to angel or demon. Because the word extraterrestrial simply means extra on terra from the astral heavens. Extra terra astral. You are extra being on the earth from the astral planes. You are extraterrestrial. You are the ones that they are looking for. The return of the gods and goddesses, the space invaders, the Martians. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, that's you. That's us.
Right.
It says that the gods came down and saw the daughters of men, and that they were beautiful, and went in unto them, as many as they chose, and made wives out of them, and had children by them, men of renown. What does that mean? Men of renown, gods are popular. So if you find yourself to be the center of attraction or misguided, light of the party, then you probably have attributes of a god or a demigod. Meaning that you have an earth parent, but the the donation that came from the other parent through intercourse was highly advanced. So that means that either your mother's ovum was stronger than your father's semen, or your father's semen was stronger than your mother's ovum.
Got it.
Remember, all of this knowledge is going to lay itself and categorize itself in your space. And you have to bring it into time, or the space-time continuum.
Damn, man.
What's up?
That hit home.
How?
As far as you saying something in regards to the mother's ovum, you said, being stronger than the father's, or
Exactly. So let's spend time on that. Okay. So you go to a club, you meet a girl, you're attracted to her for her ass. You got a child. You never had a chance to know her mind. So in that moment, you just mixed your semen or your sacred sexual fluids or your elixir of life or your holy grail or your holy water. You mix that in with an unknown factor. You don't know what's going to come out of it. And so you hope and pray that, the child will be all right. But the earth, the mother, because she was at the club, she wasn't concerned about your mind. She was only interested in your body. So when she's pregnant, she says, I hope the baby has your eyes because you have beautiful eyes. Because they can only see as far as their consciousness allows them. So the only thing that they comprehend is the density, because it's the closest thing to them. But our eyes see further. Our eyes see into their soul, and the eyes are the windows of the soul. So a God would not come down, and have, a one-night stand with a shorty in a club, because you turn that child into a demigod. The child is half balanced. It's going to go through a struggle of earth addictions and higher aspirations. So there's going to be a struggle. One has to meet the other through concepts, through morals and ethics and virtues and values. So when you get a chance to get to know each other, and we'll remember the biblical sense of the biblical term of the word know, or to know, is dealing with sex. Because the greatest form of knowing someone is to be intimate with them. And the word intimacy is intimacy. So when you're entering the course or intercourse, right, you're exchanging energy. So through the space-time continuum, remember, space, time is dealing with matter. The word matter is mother. So in your space, you took your elixir, your space fluid, your jizz, your holy water, the spirit of God that hovered above the surface of the waters, and you deposited it into, or cast your pearls to swine. You donated your sperm, your God electrified energy, into a woman or the womb man of a mentality that's only interested and concerned with earth gratification, Fendi bags and Chanel No. 9, and what are you driving? You understand what I'm saying? She gonna give you the pussy based off of the car you drive.
What's in your wallet?
What's in your wallet? So when we have these children in the earth, and we didn't go through a vetting process of getting to actually know the inner G, the INNERG, and that's interchangeable for God or goddess, then you have a child that's divided or individual. They're not holy or they're not whole. So now you got to realize the homework that's before you because you placed your essence in, you know what I mean, a potion that wasn't equally yoked. So now you got to cultivate that alchemy through guidance through life as a father. Yeah, you got to rear that child because you donated that child. You put the God consciousness of yourself in a slow state. So the God ain't performing the way you expected the God to perform because you put the God sperm or semen into a woman who eats adverse to their alkaline state. So you deposited your, and I'm not even saying that, you know, it's because this goes both ways. The man has to be careful as well. I'm not sitting here, you know, without, you know what I'm saying, recognizing the goddesses out here. I'm just using the example, since it's us on the phone, of the semen, you know what I'm saying, that we're cultivating within inside of our essence right now. See what I'm saying? And due to the fact that all of us are on the phone right now interested in this type of conversation, it means that either you drew to you the type of woman that was worthy for you to deposit your semen into her. Because look at you. If you made it this far to be on the phone right now, then you had the potential when you had intercourse for that child to make it out of the same circumstances that you made it out of, to be able to comprehend this level of information that we're discussing right now on the phone. So if you made it out of the ignorant state of the time when you had sex with the woman that you had children by, if you made it to this point, then the potential lies within the child also.
Right.
All is not lost. You just have to realize or go back to that moment and figure out what you were dealing with. What were your dimensions or your demons that you were battling? Because those sins of the father will live on through the child, meaning that your child will grow up to have those tendencies. Your child will grow up, you know what I'm saying, and develop those habits.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is everything. You the God. Be the God. So instead of being upset at the baby mama, you're the one who was attracted to her for whatever reason it was. And if it happened to be something earthly, like she had a fat ass or some shit like that, then you just got to be real with yourself.
Right.
You got to do the homework because you're really saving yourself. Remember, that's a piece of you. It's an essence. It's the essence of yourself. It came out of the same waters. It may be a pond or a lake. You understand what I'm saying? But nonetheless, those same waters that you broke off, you know what I'm saying, into her, mixed with her waters, nigga. So if you take ditch water and put it in fucking, you know what I'm saying, clean ass bath water, nigga, that ain't clean ass bath water no more. It's ditch water. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, most definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And so, you know what I mean? Like, everything exists inside that. That's the conductor of electrical energy.
Mm-hmm.
Electricity rides on water.
Right. Yes.
So, you Darth Vader and you Luke Skywalker, nigga. The Star Wars go on between you and your own motherfucking enlightenment and battle that you go through just to make a fucking decision whether you want fucking cheese on your burger or not.
Right.
Some niggas can't make it past the fucking order counter. They short circuit at, do I want fries?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So how you expect these motherfuckers to even make a decision on how to get past the desires of the lower phallus and to choose a wife from the inner light that they emit from their essence and their being? And are you able to detect it? Are you able to pick it up through discernment? Do you have those superpowers or those spidey senses?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Remember, you have to place your semen into a time capsule so that you'll live again. This is eternal life, right?
Oh my God. Oh my Lord, have mercy. Oh,
This is you. This your essence.
dude, like,
They go ahead, break it
oh
down.
my
Come on.
gosh, my kid's mom. Oh, the day that I found out that she liked me, my cousin came up to me and was like, "Yo, such and such like you," and I was like, "Man, get out of here, man." I'm like, I should have
Yeah.
followed my whole intuition. Was like, "Yo, don't even mess with her. Don't.
Yeah.
I'm good."
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man, so people were just like, "Yo, man, you should, just, go for it, and
Yeah.
not even knowing her. Prom night
Yeah.
came, and
Yeah.
prom night. 9 months later, I have a kid, and I don't even like this chick. And then we had another kid 19 months later. Oh my God!
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
If I could change, if I could.
But
My kids are here. My kids are here. Whew.
Yeah. But listen,
My kids are here.
Yo,
Right.
that's what these phone calls about. These phone calls are about getting down to what you have to do in your purpose. And in your purpose, you know what I'm saying? You sound like you reached the point of acceptance. And so, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So now you just got to do the homework to guide them.
Oh yeah.
You gotta
Oh,
guide
for
them.
sure. Yeah, because I mean, from one home to another home, I have to diffuse. You know what I'm saying? What's being taught. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, it's bad for my oldest son. Like I said, he's 12, but when he was 10, said my mom makes bad decisions. I'm like, damn. A 10-year-old should not know what kind of decisions his mother is making. You know
Why
what I'm
not?
saying?
Why not if he has your consciousness?
That's the thing, because he's here we go with the word naive. He's young, you know what I'm saying? So I would expect for him not
But he's you,
my to this day and age, I keep it 100 with my kids, because I don't want them to make mistakes, even though they're going to. But from one home to another home, it's like, okay, I have to teach them everything that I know as a father. But
exactly.
You got to decode it. You got to yeah, and it scares me.
And so, but the only way it scares you is if you feel like you don't have the answer. You have the answers. You know what I mean? Once you take these phone calls and you actually listen to them over and over again, and you apply this stuff in your life, you'll find that the answer that's already inside you has depth to it. And so it's not enough to just have the answer. You have to follow through, you know what I'm saying, to bring that into reality. You understand what I'm saying? So you're clearly dealing with a situation where the flesh made the decision for you. Right. So since the flesh result is here, you have to put your mind over the matter to pull the result into a more pleasing, you know what I'm saying, transformation. You have to be honest. You know what I'm saying? You have to build a relationship with her. You have to, you know what I mean? Like, pull that lower energy or form your demons into angels.
Right. I mean, me and her, we're at a better place now. You know what I'm saying? We talk more. There's been no fighting for I'm good, you know what I'm saying? But she just has to understand things from my standpoint, because she was a misguided female. Being raised by her father, you know what I'm saying? She was misguided. Not by him, but by her own action. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
but remember, I told you.
Go ahead.
Her source of influence, you know, more than likely came from, you know what I mean, a source that didn't discuss this level of information. Right. This level of information is so powerful, bro, that once you know this, you can't even go backwards.
Oh yeah, for
sure. So, you know what I mean? The best way you can remedy this situation is just to be the example. Cooler heads prevail. So here is a point in the conversation where this information has to become a prescription in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And what is the word prescription? It's prescriptures.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, prescription in the medical terms is dealing with the physical, but scriptures is dealing with your mind.
Right.
And so you have to be the prescription, you know what I'm saying, by your actions, and you have to live by becoming the word, the living word, as the scriptures. So the word Father, the one who fed her, right, should be also the one who's gardening or guarding her. You know what I'm saying? You got to cultivate that offspring, which is you. I'm, in all honesty, listen, I want you to listen to me careful about this. You being on this phone right now and transforming your life can pull her dimension of thinking from demonic thinking into angelic thinking. You give her another angle just by not falling victim to the emotional responses, impulsive responses. You have to know the laws of cause and effect. And as the God who knows the laws of cause and effect, and energy is contagious, you can't approach her, you know what I'm saying, with low intentions, because it's going to be infectious. Fire on fire creates a bigger fire. You don't fight fire with fire. You fight that fire with controlling your air, because fire thrives on air. The more air you give it, the more it burns. You know what I'm saying? Or you douse it with water, which is your emotion. The element associated with water is your emotion. You see what I'm saying? So you can't, whenever she's emotional, you have to be the one who teaches from outside of the box, because you're honestly teaching her by how you handle your sons, because they share half a brain of their mother. So the more you help them understand themselves is the more you help her understand their mother, and vice versa. The more she understands herself, she basically should consider herself, depending, I don't know the whole circumstances, but depending on her good qualities, you may have placed your semen in the best place outside of not knowing that, you know, that was your cousin. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
You feel me? You know what I mean? You know, now you see that the child, they didn't have any birth defects or anything like that. But you're dealing with some real issues here.
Mm-hmm.
And these real issues have to be cleared up in your earth experience. If you don't clear them up in your earth experiences, you'll be stuck in time. And the emotional impact from not handling it properly will end up in your guilt. And the guilt is heavy on your heart. And since it's heavy on your heart, you'll be stuck repeating this over and over again until you get it right. You won't be able to move on to the state that they call heaven. You got to fix this. Mm-hmm. So out of all the calls that we had, tonight we're reaching a point of purpose and spiritual work that you're already doing. You know what I'm saying? You're already doing the work. You're realizing this.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All is not lost, because there are tribes that have children with their cousins.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know what I'm saying? And to be quite honest with you, how did Superman get to the planet? What's the story of how Superman got to the planet?
Planet was dying, put him in a vessel, and shipped him across.
Who put him in a vessel? Who put him in a vessel?
Is his parents.
What were their names? You know? If y'all don't know, Google it.
His dad's name was Jor-El. E-L. I forgot what his mom's name was, but I know his dad's name was Jor-El.
Mm-hmm. What was his mother's name?
I don't remember. I have to look that one up. Hold up.
Hey, John, you get that?
No, Superman's name was Kal-El.
Now.
Kal-El?
Kal-El was Superman's name, and his dad's name was Jor-El.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And the mother's name?
Hold up. I'm about to find it right now. Hold up.
It says Laura on
Laura.
Krypton.
Yeah, Lara.
Okay.
Laura, yeah.
All right, we'll see where that goes later. But let's look at the point, though. Superman was put in a vessel and shot down a shaft, right? To go to Earth, right? What is that? It's the penis, nigga.
Huh.
And what is Superman? The immaculate conception that goes through the shaft to come to Earth, which is the balancing of the masculine and feminine in your own brain, in your own mind, your left and right hemisphere, your good side, your bad side. So in your own head, and yo, I know we're in a Cadillac right now, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna try some shit with Blog Talk later, so we can upload pictures. And I got pictures. Hey John, can you text Tremaine the two pictures of the brain with the brain stem and the vagina?
All right.
Now remember why he's doing that, man. You know, when you re-listen to these recorded, conversations, you know what I'm saying, from the archive, you got to take bits and pieces of this and make it applicable in your life, so you pull yourself out of the lane of destruction into the lane of salvation.
Okay, got you.
You know what I'm saying? Because this is no less than miraculous. When you transform your mind, you pull yourself out of the lane of destruction just by knowing that only the body decays. And so the work that you got to do here on the planet requires your undivided attention. So therefore, it doesn't resonate inside your essence as a regret. And so since it's a regret, then you have to repeat the grade, or you failed. Right. You see what I'm saying? The key to it is to realize the mess that you made and clean it up. And I don't mean that to say, you know what I mean, our children are messes, but most of us came to the planet on some oops shit.
Right.
So how many immaculate, you know what I'm saying? How many immaculate concepts are there out there?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How much pure thought did you have in your mind when you had your children? How much pure thought did she have in her mind at the moment of conception when the two concepts met? Or Jor-El and Laura came together to create the child. In this case, became a Superman. You never even know who the fuck y'all are on a spiritual level, nigga.
Yep. Very true.
Because a lot of us come and we travel, you know what I'm saying, together, and we show up as brother, sister, mother, father. That could very well been your wife in the past life. Who's to say? I don't know. That's for you to find out. And that's why I'm glad we upgrading on our technology, because it's a clear correlation between upgrading the conversation. I was talking to Jonathan earlier. There's a lot of people that, you know, they're hovering around the surface of the fire. So the people that are on the outside of the fucking fire, they got to say, what'd he say? And the person that may translate it might translate it wrong. So they don't get the full coordinates on how to tap into eternal life. This is conversations based on eternal life, because language or linguistics is a representation of knowledge, and knowledge is a representation of light. So I'm speaking light into your life, both simultaneously. It works for me. It works for my family, my wife, the relationship that I got, you know what I'm saying, with a virtuous woman. And to take it further, we'll get into this shit later on, we know we've been together before.
Right.
Far-fetched, but not at the same time. This shit ain't far-fetched when you know it. This shit is normal. Normal living, nigga. Normal living. Get your weight up. Motherfuckers got to get their weight up. or decrease their weight. You know what I mean? So you could be light and travel through this motherfucker. Which is another player. Look at that shit. You have to be light. Can't be heavy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Heavy thoughts turn into grief or grief. And the word grief is grave, which is affected by gravity. So when somebody's sitting around in their misery, they have a heavy heart. And in the laws of Kemet, dealing with Ma'at, the laws of Ma'at, who holds the scales to balance out your essence against your heart. And so naturally on a physical level, you see that the heart is actually heavier than the feather, but the feather is actually representation of your consciousness. So if ever you see that, you get a chance, Google it. You can Google it as we're speaking. You see Ma'at, M-A-A-T. And you'll see that she's the goddess that holds the scales. And on one of those scales, you see a bloody heart. And in the other one, you see a feather, because your consciousness has to be weighed upon the heart. Because if you got a heavy heart, then that's speaking to regret or guilt or shame.
Right.
Which causes you to have a heavy energy or a depressive energy. So if most of the things that you're depressed about are earthbound, or what's the matter? We even say it when we ask somebody, what's the matter? So we're actually saying, what's the material situation that you got to be concerned about? Your mind is focused on matter, nigga, instead of you having a light heart or the consciousness of a feather so that you can soar in the sky. That's why the feather's there, so that you could become the hawk. And the hawk is indicative of Horus, which is the third eye or the first eye. So now we're getting into some blacked out or some pineal shit, nigga.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And when you tap into this meditation and you're able to have a bird's eye view of the terrain, because a hawk that's flying in the sky can look down on the earth and see it from a different angle.
Come on.
Then you're actually able to transform that which you see or prophesize or speak or project into your future, because you came down out of heaven and you are now on the earth, and now your deeds are ordered. My steps are ordered by God. What the fuck does that mean? That means that I went into meditation and I had a relationship with space, and I calculated through calculative deduction what steps to make on the earth, what moves to make, what decisions to conclude on, so that I can get the result and it doesn't cause a clash of emotional turbulence. You have to learn how to Tai Chi emotions.
Right.
Some shit just ain't worth commenting on, because now you interject in the moment, the momentum from the energy in discord. These are best practices passed down from generations and generations and through time. You know what I'm saying? That help you move through life so that you don't get stuck in a dimension.
Right.
So what is your homework on earth? Your homework is in your child. The sins of the father live on through the child, as well as the fucking triumphs.
Right. Sure.
So when y'all came to the joint, to the lounge, and we all had a conversation about depression, looking back at that day, at that night, and fast forwarding to this moment, look at the difference of your consciousness from then into now.
Oh yeah, definitely. I've had a drastic change.
Who has time for depression? That's a choice. That's a decision. You're making the decision that you're going to give in to the fact that you feel like you have no way out of the situation. Mm-hmm. Your consciousness, in order for you to go to sleep at night and have a clear consciousness, is to make sure that when you have an opportunity to engage with people, whether they're close to you or whether they're just people on your job and acquaintances, that you don't create a moment in time that's going to cause emotional explosion that leads to guilt or shame. Each of your decisions are your moment to Tai Chi or dip through the raindrops. So therefore you avoid all type of shallow ass fucking interactions.
Mm-hmm.
You're a psychologist, nigga.
Mm-hmm.
You're the god.
True indeed.
It's a lot more shit that, so, yo, for the creative visualization, like, you know what I mean? Like, what you get from it, huh? You enjoy your first chapter or what? What's up?
Yeah, I've finished my first chapter. I haven't dabbled into the second one yet because I was writing this paper, so I wanted to make sure that I didn't get distracted. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure that I got everything that I needed fulfilled from out of this one chapter, and just to make sure that I wasn't rambling, you know what I'm saying, as I was making my notes and, like I said, just going over. So yeah, I had to actually put away the Miracle Power of Mind book, you know, because I was getting deep into that joint. I had to. I was like, you know what, let me put this book down. I have to.
Yeah.
I looked at him like I had the urge to pick it up, but I'm like, you know what? Let me go ahead and pump brakes real quick and make sure that I get through this book. You know what I'm saying? Creative visualization. And then, like I said, because my first copy was rained on, I had to go back through the introduction and make sure I couldn't go over what I had as far as making my first notes out of that one. So I just went back through it to get familiarized with that as well. You know, so like I said, man, I know these books are the truth. And like you said, you got more for me. So I'm like I said, I feel like a big kid inside a toy store. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to see what I can get next. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real.
Yeah. Now these books have a truth. These books, they have a truth, not the truth. They have a truth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but did you enjoy it? What did you enjoy?
The breakdown. As far as the breakdown goes, like I said, it was some things were broken down to where it was like, okay, you know, it's giving different aspects of one person to another person that kind of correlate with each other more or less. You know what I'm saying? So it gave me the opportunity to actually look and figure out, you know, given these examples are pretty much things that people go through in everyday life that they're not tapping into. I know I haven't tapped into, but like looking at it was like, damn, you know, this is stuff that I know. And now that I'm reading it, I got something from it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I'm getting full from it to where it's like, okay, you know what, let me go ahead and read some of this stuff over. So like sometimes I talk to Hype like, dude, yo, this chapter's crazy as hell. And he's just like, yup, I ain't gonna tell you nothing else, but you gonna have to find it. So I'm like, yo, dude, I got it. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna keep reading and soaking in, because at the end of the day, this is stuff that I want to make sure that my sons know. They have to know this stuff. They have to. You know.
Yo, that's how you live. That's how you live forever. And I was talking to Jonathan earlier. Remember that game that everybody's playing? You know, that virtual game everybody's playing. It was a craze. The Pokemon shit.
Oh yeah, it came and went, man. Like fidget spinners.
Yeah. But see, that game, the concept of the game is exactly what this is. By changing your perspective, you're gonna find beautiful moments where, you know, it's gonna reach a perfection. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna see things by being consistent in your approach. You're gonna be able to go and collect those moments in time. It's gonna be beautiful moments. They're gonna come out of nowhere where your child says something like, you know, what he said that caught your attention about his mother. You know what I'm saying? But by catching that, you'll be able to also apply creative visualization in your meditation, especially when you know, bring it out of the visualization into your actions. and then you begin to get a different direction that you're cultivating your children. You know what I'm saying? You're changing the course that you were moving in. You know what I mean? At first, your choice was filled up with, you know what I'm saying, certain levels of regret, certain levels of, you know what I'm saying, frustration. But now you're owning what you've done, and you're making the best out of it. You're turning lemons into lemonade. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Or you'll become an alchemist. You became an alchemist. You turn base metals into gold. That's what you're doing right now. That's how you have to understand the metaphor when they speak about things like you're the alchemist, or Jesus turned water into wine. You're turning water into wine by realizing that you had water in the beginning. Now I have to change it to something else. And what does that require? That requires mind over matter. So your mind has to change it, and it's the influence from where you speak life into the consciousness of your children, and also as they get older, prepare them for certain things that you suspect that they may run into, because the sins of the father live on in the child. So the same situations that you encountered, if you don't prepare them, then when they run into those situations, they're going to make the same mistakes that you made.
Exactly.
So you have to have a clear relationship with the children, so therefore they know, you know what I'm saying, what they may encounter. But you becoming the God by participating in creative visualization and having proper planning. Remember, this earth is called a what among all the other, you know what I'm saying, solids in our orbit. What is Earth called, Tremaine?
What is Earth called?
What is the scientific name for this Earth? It say what?
It's a planet.
So spell planet.
Planet.
First four letters, spell it.
Plan.
Which is what?
It's a plan.
So say the whole thing again.
Planet. It's a planet.
You have to plan it.
Right.
Remember, these are concepts. Your children are concepts. And the concept that they were created for in the moment was more physical. So all is not lost. You can change the energy. Remember, energy cannot be created nor destroyed, but it can be changed. And you as the blacksmith can take a hunk of steel. You as the blacksmith could take a hunk of steel and put it in the fire, and you could change the shape and turn it into a sword.
Chuck, man, do you listen to Absol? Like, you just quoted something that he just said, man.
Nah.
Oh,
I mean, but shit like that come through. Shit like that come through as a confirmation for shit that's going on in your life.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Because the angels are around you. You know what I'm saying? All I'm doing is, listen, the angel Michael is the messenger. He's the one that comes before Christ with his Christ consciousness. Right. So Michael being the messenger, what device gives messages? Microphones. So there's no coincidence that the word microphone
Michael
is associated with Mike. Michael.
Mike. Yep.
You see what I'm saying? So like a lot of these gods and goddesses travel through poetry, music, you know what I'm saying? Politics, whatever they need to do to get the information to you. So you're not just a blacksmith, you're also a wordsmith. See, because those words carry concepts, and these concepts are supposed to change your relationship as your role on the planet. Relationship is relative, but you're only relative to the absolute in degree. So you have to get those degrees, like Pac-Man, those energy or those Pokemon moments that you travel through time by making right choices. You're going to collect different aha moments or epiphany moments or beautiful moments that show you that the work that you're doing is making itself manifest through your children. Because it's a moment, it's a tear-jerking moment. You know what I'm saying? It's going to make you proud, because those moments, all is not lost. You realize that the work that you've been doing, they're actually getting it. But you just have to be it consistently. In order for this information and the time that we're spending on the phone to manifest into your physical life, you have to be able to take these words and make them applicable. That's why it's called practical guide. Because a lot of these people talk about astral travel or creative visualization and things like that. They speak about it from a mystical space.
Right.
I don't try to come off like that. Even though this shit is mystical in its, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
In its essence. But you'd have to demystify it.
Yeah,
the word mystical is dealing with mystery. And the word mystery is my story, nigga.
Mm-hmm.
Opposite of history, which is his story. So he can tell you all day who you are according to who he say you are, as how he sees you. But until I tap into the mysteries, which is the unknown, which is the X, when you tap into the unknown, you get a chance to identify, find your real identity.
Very true.
So again, man, we not on the phone just to kick it with each other like we at the fucking bar. Nah, I'm not interested in that type of fucking friendship. I'm not interested in that shit. I'm interested in you taking this into your life and being excited about writing these papers.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're gonna look at this information later on and be like, nigga, look at what state I was in. Look at the alchemy I performed on myself.
Yep.
We're about getting results, man.
Oh, believe me, we're gonna get them. Definitely.
So yeah, bro, John, man.
Yes, sir.
What you got? What you got, man? How we do tonight, man?
Oh, we did good. We did real good. This junk is dope. And I was about to tell Tremaine that he's getting excited about the books to come. Shoot, that's just the spiritual joint. We ain't get to the paperwork books. about getting your shit together for real on paper. And Chuck, I found I went to their actual website where you get the redemption joints, and they got that junk on sale for like all the books for like $400. I said, oh word.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the joint you was showing me last week, right?
Yeah. Found them joints all for sale.
We get into that. And by the way, I got something in the pipe that on the horizon that's looking like land ho, nigga.
Oh word.
Yeah. Shit.
Okay.
So just keep on moving. Remember, a fool and his money is soon departed. So you got to get your mind right in order to receive the inheritance of our birthright. You know what I'm saying? What we looking like on time though, Jonathan? How much time we spent so far?
We had 2 hours.
Word up. So yeah, man,
2.
yo, y'all listen to this. I want to test to see how, you know what I'm saying, user friendly this shit is. You know what I'm saying? So we can play it back. You know what I'm saying? And pause it. You know what I'm saying? And when we upload it, like, you know how you write the description of the joint?
Yeah.
Always update that. So when you listen to it, you can write down the timeline for somebody to go to and say, on this particular part, I got this out of that. Check this part out. This part is yada, yada, yada. You understand what I'm saying? That's how we're going to archive our shit, by listening to it, stopping it, and recording the time and putting it in the description.
Okay.
We got the YouTube channel jumping?
That's not gonna take long. I mean, I can use my personal one for right now, but that's not gonna take long. Get a YouTube
All right, put it on your personal and then transform it and put the whole title. Get your shit together, Greater Non-Denominational Research and Development Center, Couch by the Rock.
Fellowship, fellowship by the mountain.
You know what I'm saying? Like, write the whole motherfucking shit on that motherfucker, nigga. And it's gonna be different every time. You know what I'm saying?